The truth about self love is that what most people think about as self love isn't actually self love. Getting your nails done, going to the spa, or getting a massage are just surface level things that will not have a lasting impact on how you feel about yourself and how you show up in your actual life. It makes you feel good in the moment, but that's not even close to what self love truly is. This podcast is going to help you learn how to stop playing small, find who you really are, and become the freest, truest, most badass version of yourself so you can get the real love and life that you truly deserve and desire. I remember when I first started to want to learn what self love was all about, I was very confused. I had no idea what the hell it even meant. It was like this concept that you can't really put your finger on. Now, after a few years, I figured it out. People will say, just love yourself, focus on self love, put yourself first. But what does that even mean? Where do you start when it comes to actually loving yourself? And there's a fundamental piece of self love that is missing that you need to know, because without this, self love isn't possible. There's no way to really love yourself without it, that no one talks about, and is truly vital to being able to love yourself, no matter where you're at, flaws and all.
If we don't have the fundamentals down, it's not going to work. I highly believe 100% that is all levels, mentally, physically, emotionally, spiritually, that we learn to love ourselves and truly take care of ourselves. And without that foundation, it's not going to work. A key component I want to talk about is self-respect. If you don't have self-respect, you're not going to have self-love. And this is what we're getting wrong about it. And that is the most important fundamental piece is self-respect. I'm going to name a few things that you can start doing to make for sure that you're truly respecting yourself. Self-respect is, can you say no to others? Can you stick to that? And that's one of them. Can you say no to yourself? Like last night I stayed up and I was binge watching a new TV show, but I knew I needed to sleep. So I really wasn't keeping my word to myself about getting adequate sleep. If I truly loved and cared about myself, I would be getting more sleep. Shame on me. Naughty girl. That's just one example. Are we able to say no to others to stick to that? Can we say no to ourselves and prioritize taking care of ourselves and our need? Are you actually showing up for yourself and taking care of your needs and wants? Or are you waiting for other people to do that for you? If you're like, well, I don't know what my needs are. Okay, what are you asking other people to do for you? Look there and start meeting our own needs. We're not going to be happy if we're wanting other people to meet our needs for us. That's giving our power away. And let's say they do that thing you want them to do, then your happiness is you're only going to be happy for as long as that person is doing that thing. And when they stop doing that thing, you're not going to be happy anymore. So your happiness go up and down, up and down. What I teach is how to be happy all the time, no matter what's happening externally in your life, because we all go through challenging things. We all go through things that are difficult, loss, grief, and heartbreak. We all go through that. But can we overcome that and get back to our place of truly being happy? And that's not going to work if we're letting other people be the ones who make us happy instead of learning to do it inside. It's an inside job. So we've covered, can you say no to yourself and no to others and stick to that? Okay. And are you taking care of your wants and needs? Are you prioritizing your wants and needs? Or are you giving that to others? Are you basically saying, well, I can't be happy until you do this for me. I can't be happy until you do A, B, C, and D. That's handing your power away. And that's the secret to unhappiness. I wouldn't say the secret because we're all doing that in some way, don't we? But what that's doing is we're putting our happiness in other people's hands. Should we be doing that? Think about that. Is that going to be lasting? Or is it just going to create a bunch of frustration and unhappiness? And it's going to put a lot of pressure on the other person. Should anyone be responsible for your happiness? No, that's your job. It's your job to take care of you. It's your job to make you happy. It's your job to meet your needs. And when we get clear on this, because that's not what the world tells us. The world tells us that get the car, get the house, get the boyfriend, get the husband, the girlfriend, have that perfect body, and then you're going to be happy. When you can be happy right now, you can create it now. And the basis of that is what I'm saying is self-respect. And how are you treating yourself? How are you actually treating yourself? And we can break this down. How are you talking to yourself? So when you make a mistake, what do you say to yourself? Do you call yourself stupid? Because that's going to be tearing down your self-respect. You won't have any self-respect if you're treating yourself like that. Are you able to treat yourself the way you want other people to treat you? Okay. That's important because here's another thing we can do. It's like, well, I treat myself like crap, but I want others to make up for that lack. That doesn't work. If we're like, okay, well, I'm treating myself like crap and I want other people to make me feel better about myself. Well, honey, we can't be doing that to begin with. You're not going to have self respect if you're not treating yourself well. How do you talk to yourself? What behaviors do you do or don't do for yourself that would be taking care of yourself? And then how are you feeling about yourself? How am I really treating myself? If you talk to yourself like trash, and if you're like, I want someone else to make up for how I'm treating myself, that's not going to work. And you're going to attract the worst people. So we have to clean up how we talk to ourselves and how we treat ourselves and show up for ourselves. We're not going to create happiness by treating ourselves like trash and expecting someone else to make up for our voids and deficits and to clean up all that crap we're doing to ourselves. It's not going to work like that. That's backwards. But that's what society tells us. Okay, you feel bad about yourself. Well, go get this. Go get some superficial substitute. Okay, you don't need a superficial substitute when you already know how to love and take care of yourself. But the most important key component is self-respect. Do you treat yourself the way you want other people to treat you? Like, let's be honest, okay? If you want to be happy, then you're going to be willing to do some self-reflection, okay? And you may have to slow down to do some self-reflection and feel uncomfortable, and that's okay. Growth is all a part of the process, okay? Can you say no to yourself and say no to other people and stick to it? Even if they're angry with you, even if they don't like it. Women definitely do this. We do too much and we're giving too much and we get our self-worth through helping and pleasing and giving. And that's wrong. We have to start prioritizing ourselves and our needs. Saying no really lets you know if you have quality people in your life, because if people love you, they may be disappointed, but they'll accept your no. And a key to this is when other people don't like it, just use empathy. I'm really, really sorry I can't do that thing. Show up with empathy, but still say no and stick to that no. Don't change it when they try to guilt trip you or whatever. Then get off the phone or walk away because they're not respecting your no. And then they don't respect you. Okay. So if you show up in a way that demands respect, not only are you growing your self-respect, other people are going to respect you too. And guess what? You're going to lose people along the way, and that is fine. They shouldn't have been there to begin with. If people don't respect your no, they don't respect you. And they're not treating you well. That's treating you bad. Boundaries are so basic. And if you're like, I have to justify and defend and explain my no, no, honey, you shouldn't have to do that. You're adults. You're adults, right? And here's the thing: when you stop doing all that, because you know what, like I'm adult, I don't have to explain and justify myself as an adult to my parents or my friends when I'm saying no. You don't need to justify, explain, and defend yourself. Like what they're doing is manipulating you to try to get that thing that they wanted from you. And at minimum, make you feel bad because now they feel bad. Okay. But in the end, it's about, okay, well, if this person doesn't respect me, why do I have them in my life? Because, okay, and here's the thing. So we have to show up respecting ourselves, and then we have to require other people to treat us well too. But it starts with us. It starts with treating ourselves good, and then requiring other people to treat ourselves good. But if we haven't treated ourselves good and we've tolerated things we shouldn't have, then it's going to take some time to detox our life from those people who should have never been there. And honey, it starts with just saying no. Just say no. And when you have new people, especially when you're dating, say no a lot. And that's going to weed out all the people who shouldn't be there. Because if they want someone who's compliant and always reasonable and always giving and always pleasing, guess what? You're going to lose yourself. It starts with truly respecting yourself and requiring people to treat you well. If you don't respect yourself and you're not requiring that from other people, then you're not going to be happy because that is the foundation. And from self-respect can grow self-love. When we can start showing up, respecting ourselves, okay, then we can require other people to too. But it's going to mean letting them go. And that's okay. They may come back willing to meet you where you are. And if they don't come back, I love this analogy. Life is like a tree. You're going to have people in your life who are the leaves. They come and go. And then you're going to have other people like branches that are going to break within time or a few seasons. And then you're going to have people in your life who are strong like the roots of a tree, who never waver, who are always there. And that's the people we want to focus on. Some people come in and out of your life a lot of times to teach you a lesson. Maybe they shouldn't have been there in the first place. You're not going to be happy without loving yourself. And that starts with self-respect. So all of these things, how are you treating yourself? Do you say no to yourself and others? Okay. Are you prioritizing your needs and wants? So really, self-respect is the key. And that's what a lot of people get wrong about self-love. And it's like, it's not working. Well, honey, they didn't tell you how to do it to begin with. That's why it doesn't work. And nothing as simple as, like, I love mindset, but it's not enough. And I love working out, but that's not enough. And I love doing nice things for yourself, but that's not enough. It's combining all of them together. I'm a very systematic thinker. I can break things down into bite-sized pieces. It's like my superpower to make things very simple, okay? And we have to look at it as mentally, emotionally, physically, spiritually. Self-love is a combination of things that equal self-love. And you know that you've done a lot of work in growing when you can laugh when you make a mistake. Like, I just dripped coffee down my shirt and I laughed. Like, wow. That just is so hilarious. But this has to be said. Self-respect is so important, especially us who we think, we're earning attention and good treatment and love and all that stuff. We're earning it. But guess what? You shouldn't be earning it. You were born deserving of love, of good treatment, of good things, of a happy relationship. You were born for those things. You were born lovable. You were born enough. There is nothing on this earth that you could ever do to be enough, because you already are. So, and I know that plagues so many people, the being enough. So if you actually look in the mirror and say, look, I was born enough. F this thought, this feeling that I'm not enough. There's nothing you could do to earn it. And you can show up. Thinking about that, like, that just makes you want to take a deep breath. Like, yeah, I was born enough. I don't have to try to earn it or wait for it. It's just such a beautiful thought. Write all those thoughts down that make you feel like $1,000,000. Write all of them down, because our minds just cannot remember everything. And you write them down so that you can remind yourself, and you can have little Post-its in your house of all these thoughts that make you feel like $1,000,000, because those thoughts are creating feelings. And then that's going to shift how you show up and the choices you make. So just know that whatever you're going through, that it may be a season in your life that sucks. Just know that just keep pushing forward, keep putting one step in front of the other, and believing in yourself and what you deserve.
You can become the badass you've always wanted to be. Punch fear in the face and live life on your own terms. Till next time.